tabs right here. The first one is the file explorer, so it contains the contracts. It's the simple smart contracts which is already in the Remix IDE. Then we have some JavaScript for the it's like a deployment script, and we have some test file for one of the smart contracts which is ballot, right? So the file explorer simply contains all the files and everything, right? Next we have a search file which we can use to search any thing in the whole file explorer. So if you want to search for a particular function, we can simply search here, and we can add some customization using regex and filters. It can be very useful to find for some uh, items. And then we have Solidity compiler. So here we can select our Solidity version which we want to compile for our smart contracts. And finally we have a run and deploy transaction. So here we can select our environments. Currently we are into Remix virtual machine, which is a local virtual machine. We have many options out here. We can use the mainnet fork, the testnet fork like Gorelli or Sepolia. We can also use our hardware provider. We can also use our hardware provider, Ginache provider or Foundry. Also, we can inject any Web3 from MetaMask or any other wallet. So below the environment is the accounts. So we have given with some of the test accounts with some ether which can be used for testing purpose. And now let us create a simple Solidity file or a smart contract and test with deploying it. So we can, let me zoom in a bit, and just name our file. Let's name our contract as set value.so. So let's start with pragma solidity 0.8.17 or let's say 18. Let's name our contract same set value. This will be a very simple contract which will just set a value of a particular variable. That's all. We are not using any. This isn't a Solidity tutorial, so we are not writing any complex project. Okay, so let's start. So let's declare a variable, public variable, and name it a number or num. And let's create a function set num. It will take a value of unsigned integer, and let's keep it public. And finally it will assign the value with input to the num public variable. So to compile this thing, we can simply go to Solidity compiler and just click on compile set value.sol. Apart from this, we can also click on Ctrl+S shortcut to compile this thing. So that everything is right. So we are getting an error here which is SPDX license identifier not. So it's not a major issue, so we will not be resolving it. And let's move on to deployment. So we can choose any accounts of our choice and we can simply click on deploy. Here we need to choose our contract we want to deploy. So currently we have only one contract, so it's set by default. And here we can access our deployed contract. So here is two functions. One function is setNum, which we have created, and another is a public getter function of num. Public variable, the getter function is already created by itself. So currently it's initialized to 0 as we haven't provided anything here. So let's change it to 10, and once we click on setNum, it will send a transaction, and we can see that transaction has been successfully executed. And once we call the num again, we will see the value change to 10. Let us try it once more and click on 19 and click on set num, and we can see that it got executed again, and this time we call num, it will return 19. So this is the basic overview of Remix IDE. You can also inspect more about the function calls and lower level stuff. So if we click on this thing, we find out that which address is calling, what function is being called to which address.